Okay, there it is.
Oh God, it's working. It's working.
Okay, there it is.
Okay.
I just got the notification.
Whoa, that was scary.
That was,
Sorry. They just told me that my live stream wasn't working. Did I lose you, Jenny? Where are you? Jenny, you're on here, right? Shit, guys. Sorry. Hold on a second. Oh my God, what a mess. Sorry, guys. Hey, you're on speaker, but real quick, the code.
Okay, I really don't know what just happened.
Is your computer fine?
It just went dark. It seriously just turned off, and it's plugged into the charger and everything. Like, it's plugged into the wall.
Did you turn it back on?
So, yeah, it's loading.
All right.
Let's see if I can get back on.
All right, let me just put us on mute here. We're having some issues, and all kinds of crazy stuff's happening here. So we'll be right back.
If you just put us on mute, you can speak the code out loud. You don't even have to send.
Oh, we got to get off. Oh
okay.
All right. Sorry about that, guys.
I think we're in.
All right. Well, welcome to channel 27. Leave it up to us to start with a nice and interesting entrance.
A dilemma.
Yeah. Sorry. I don't know. That was really, really weird. So my live stream wasn't working. And then
as soon as we went live, my computer just went dark. It just decided to turn off, and it is plugged into the wall and everything. So whatever. Let's just get started.
So we are very sorry. It's been a long time. We have not been on here. We've just been extremely busy. Jenny was away. I've just had a lot going on. So that's what took us a little time to get started. We had to catch up. We haven't seen each other in a long time. So Jenny, how are you doing? How are you feeling?
I'm great. You guys, I just called Heidi earlier today to let her know that I wouldn't call it a prediction, but a forecast that she'd made. She let me know about 3.5 to 4 months ago that for the following 3.5 to 4 months, things were going to feel like very lost in the weeds, out of control, very just uncomfortable feeling. And I don't know if it was the power of suggestion, to be completely honest with you, but around that 3.5, 4 month mark, I really came out of this kind of fog of uncertainty. It was mostly like self-doubt more than anything else. But she was right. And so, here we are. We haven't done a show in like 3 weeks now. So we have a lot to catch up on, like personally, also like with everything that's going on in the news. And we haven't done readings for you guys in a long time. So
it's probably going to be a long show. We're going to do readings. I haven't decided yet if we're going to do Vedic read. We're just going to kind of play it by ear. But, Jenny and I were discussing something, and we kind of wanted to start talking about this because with everybody waking up and stuff, this is definitely a really intense time. I've been saying that. I mean, planets are really retrograde. There's now another one's going retrograde. They're stationed. There's just a lot of, miscommunication issues with, literally, you just said it, feeling like you're in the weeds. I mean, so many things that are just like piling up and not feeling like you have enough time to do them, or there's a lot of stress going on. So, I guess, Jenny, we were talking about something too, was the whole religious thing and the whole Christianity thing. Because when you do follow these posts and Q and all these different channels. And, there are some heavy haters in there. If you are not, saved, a Christian, which I am, but if you're not, they just don't pay you any mind. If you talk about astrology or this, and I've dealt with that now since I've started this, it doesn't bother me actually as nearly as much as I think it could bother people, because I was myself extremely religious. So I never heard that the Bible said that astrology was bad, which is why I started studying it. So I really don't care anymore, because now that I know it's not. But Jenny, go ahead, and why don't you touch base on what we were just talking about a little bit?
Well, I just wanted to say hello to everybody in the chat, and thank you guys for your patience and for tuning in. As usual, we are late. Everybody that's been around for a while knows to kind of expect that from us. If we say 6:30, we probably mean closer to 7. But it's all love, and we really appreciate you guys. Trisha, thank you for that. Okay, so, well, this whole issue with the Christianity versus kind of everything else is something that comes up in cycles. It seems the most important thing, it's weird. It's relevant because I find myself as a Trump supporter, and also as somebody who follows Q, a lot of the people that I network with and talk with and work with are staunch Christians who believe that they adhere to their paradigm that Jesus Christ is Lord and Savior, and that, he is one and above all, and, the one love, the only love, the true path. I don't argue with people when it comes to their belief systems. I am not discounting Christianity right now. I'm not saying that Jesus is not the way or anything like that. I think people are so entitled and allowed to believe what they want to believe and worship who and what they want to worship. However, I'm running into this issue where I'm very much trying to legitimize a perspective with all of this stuff, where it's not only about Christianity and sort of Christianity versus evil. It's everybody versus evil. So, people, I kind of only sort of recently, with a lot of the attention that I've been getting, people want to dig into what I identify as and what my religious beliefs are. And because I don't identify as a Christian, I have had people tell me that I'm automatically evil or from the dark side because I don't actually consider Jesus Christ to be my Lord and Savior. So I'm actually into the occult. And the definition of occult is only things that are hidden, that which is hidden. So people really need to have a strong sense of there's a difference between occult and everything else that is evil. People call it Satanism. Well, the fact of the matter is that Satanism, as described or defined, is not actually a religion of violence or anything like that. So Satanism, there are actually people that identify as Satanists that are actually peaceful people. We need to be very specific about who the bad guys are, who the enemy is. And so, in my opinion, it comes down to not who or what you worship, but what your line of morality is. Don't hurt kids, don't hurt animals, don't hurt other people, only unless it's out of self-defense. So, and this is something I plan on having a much more in-depth discussion about in the future. But it's really important that people broaden their perspectives of this good versus evil thing. Yeah. Which is funny because the eagle is actually a very Masonic symbol. It's all different kinds of things, but it's something that comes up a lot lately.
Yeah. So, and it's funny because I have watched numerous amounts of documentaries recently. I've been on a documentary frenzy, and I watched, a ton of different things with pedophilia and the Satanism. And I watched a documentary that somebody posted that, was talking about the occult. And I'm sitting here thinking everything they talk about is about the occult. And, I don't even though I do occult stuff, I don't I have that in my head too, because of kind of what you say, because of what people say about it. But I just say I do astrology, I do this, because when I think of the occult, I think of spells, that kind of crazy stuff. Right. So why don't you Can you do something real quick? Just give the difference between the occult with like what we do and this stuff versus when those people are in the occult and what they're doing. Like, well, deep state stuff, the whole, like Masons, secret societies, all these people that are in the occult, right? And they're using the transits. Well, guess what? If they're using the transits, why don't we as human beings, as Christians, use the transits too and be ahead of them? If they're using the planets to benefit things and to harvest things and to have seances or whatever the hell they're doing, why don't we using them too? That's how I look at it. Learn it so you can do things and be ahead of the game so they don't have power over you. If you're doing the same thing, it doesn't matter.
Absolutely. And that's like so important is that, occult literally is a blanket term, a blanket statement that encompasses all of that which is hidden, all of that which is esoteric. It's just the knowledge that isn't passed around through any of the Abrahamic religions or, the organized church or any kind of dogma. So really, my definition is, because I love Hermetics, I've always been really, really into it, is that the magic is neither good nor bad. The idea, the concept of good and bad is very human, based on human perceptions and our human morals. But for the most part, these are just tools. Okay, this is actually science. Magic is actually science. But mainstream science doesn't want you to know that. They'll never label it and package it and present it to everybody as really just a tool. So it's what's inside of somebody's heart, what their willpower is intent upon creating. Dark people take dark things. Dark people take, or people that have lend themselves well to, they're into really sick stuff. They're desensitized, they're fragmented, and they're just very unhealthy people. They will take it to a place that is, negative, and negative in terms of what isn't healthy, what's just not good for people, what's not good for society. So people need to start having like these discussions. So what we do, astrology and tarot, divination, even energy work, that sort of thing, people identify that as being evil, which it's not. However, it can be used for evil purposes, which we see the elite do all the time. So this is where ignorance is really a problem, and simply educating oneself on the various uses of all of these tools can really it's the difference between realizing and not realizing, the fact of the situation here.
Right. And one thing I want to touch on too, before, we go any further too, I wanted to bring up, because recently I've been liking some videos, so then you can go through them and you can, why do I have a fucking echo? All right. And you can go through and you can see like what I've liked. And I was watching this movie on sex trafficking and all this stuff. Okay. It was called Eden. And this other movie popped up, Lolita. All right. And let's just say, if you have not seen that movie, please watch that movie. Okay. Watch the whole movie. It's good. It's crazy. It's interesting. It's kind of a long one. Watch the movie Lolita. It was in 1997. Okay. And Melanie Griffith, I think her name was Melanie Griffith or something like that. Am I right? Yeah. So she's in it. And then if you're in like, oh, well, maybe those people aren't pedophiles, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Look up the Lolita Express, watch the quick documentary. This stuff is so there. It's crazy. And not even, this is just like, I mean, who would name their plane that? Is he stupid? Sorry,
Well, no, they have to do this. They're so arrogant, and they think the rest of us so stupid that we won't notice these blatant correlations here. But you're absolutely right. And unfortunately, many of the deep state organizations that we are now kind of confronting on a world stage, they do utilize what we can call black magic. So these are these very sacred teachings about energy and the body and how we connect to the world around us. And much deeper than that, because when you compare it with limitless funding of technology and biological studies and all of the sick things that they're able to do with science, coupling it with natural magical energy, it knows no bounds. They're evil. What they're able to do It's really quite mind-blowing. And I really hate to put so much energy into it. It's just that moving forward with all of this, and the more that it comes out into the open, and these evil people that have been practicing this black magic in the deep state, within the deep state, and perpetuating it on all of us through just a large blanket sort of MK Ultra style mass brainwashing, it's going to be important for people to realize what has happened here and what's been taking place in plain sight. I mean, we've been talking about it since it's been 2 years now, Heidi, almost 2 years. And only now are we starting to see, this sort of trickling out into, the public, the public consciousness of what's being hidden, what's been hidden from us for so long. Are you seeing something going wrong in the chat?
Yeah.
You look kind of distressed.
Yeah. Somebody said something stupid, I think. And I don't know if they're being funny. Yeah. Some people's jokes, I swear to God. Okay, a couple of items of housekeeping too. I'm really behind on getting back to people on readings, so you don't have to submit it a million times. I'm just behind. And until I can do your reading in 60 days, I'm not going to even respond to you. I've actually kind of, yeah. So that's number one. Two, I have a lot of new subscribers. Thanks so much for subscribing. And I just wanted to say that, you don't have to super chat. Like, it actually makes things uncomfortable for me, because then I feel like I have to do everybody's reading. So, real readings with Jenny and I are a lot different than this. This is just to give people a taste, like just a quick, like, this is, if somebody's in, we like to do this because it shows people that this actually works, so you can see it before actually investing in it. And, seeing that we're not sitting here making things up, sitting behind magic balls with, that kind of stuff. This is, in my heart, astrology is a science, okay? And it's just interpreting science. And it is something that has changed my life. And, so I really do. I don't deal with trolls. You'll see. That's why I have a ton of moderators. It's almost like, almost everybody's a moderator. So I don't deal with trolls. You either like this channel and you stay, or you don't. And if you don't, get out, see you later. And I'm not trying to be rude, but I just don't have time to handle any of that stuff. And I'm just being brutally honest, because, it's got to get out there right now. So, and also I keep my Facebook page. If I accept you on Facebook, please do not be sending me crazy messages and, all this stuff. And do not tag me in anything. I have a career, professional life, and this is what I do for my hobby, my passion. So just had to make a note of that real quick. Jenny, do you have anything to say?
Yeah, I just wanted to say really quick, you made a reference to what's known as scrying or crystal gazing, which those are actually two different things. What this is actually a really perfect example of how magic and divination and various practices have found their way, resurfaced in pop culture in a way that makes it look hokey. When the fact of the matter is, and that's no fault of yours, but the fact of the matter is that scrying, which is the crystal ball, is actually a very powerful and accurate tool. It's actually a very old school version. I believe it's an old school version of what's called remote viewing. So this is where somebody that, we would typify as being a witch or a warlock has either a piece of onyx or otherwise some kind of very black stone that has a reflective surface. Sometimes people use water. Sometimes people use mirrors. But what this is sort of searching through the Akashic or searching through the mind's eye, searching for an answer or seeking something out. So, scrying is real deal. It's a real thing. Crystal gazing is real.
Yeah. Why? Well, my point is I don't do it. Even though
if you tried it though, if you could convince yourself that it was you doing it, I think you would just be so pumped.
Yeah.
Okay, no, this is really working. Oh my gosh.
I don't know about that. Maybe.
I don't think you would. I honestly, it's not that you couldn't do it. I don't think that you would allow yourself. I don't think you would give yourself permission to go there, because it's so you got to be 1 foot in, 1 foot out. And
yeah, but I always am 1 foot in, 1 foot out. That's how I live my life. It's true. So I wouldn't take it too much like that, but mine would be more so along the lines of, totally wrong city. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to put some of these birthdays in. So the people that have donated in the super chat, we will do the charts, the astrology charts. Jenny, what do you think? Should we do the signs? Should we do the elements? You decide. We can also do rods, divination rods. We did have a winner for our contest, Katie Langford. She bought a lot of sets, so obviously her name came up. Yay. And yeah, so
that would be so fun.
Yeah, so Katie is the winner, and so we do everything. If you want us to pull some cards, we can pull you some cards. We're gonna stay on for a while and do at least some readings. If you have a question for tarot or for Jenny or for the rods, make sure you ask it and put it in. Don't, if you are looking for something specific in the super chat. Once again, you don't have to super chat. That's just who we pick first, obviously, because if they're gonna put money there, we got to get to them. So, Jenny, you want to start? Let's start with do you want to do some signs or what? Tell me what you think.
Well, I was thinking so that we can fit in everybody that wants to get a reading now.
Yeah.
We can do the signs.
Okay.
So that will save, because then we'll only end up doing 4. Oh, there go all of my cards.
Wait, you want to do the signs or are we doing elements?
What did I say? I meant signs. I'm sorry. I meant to do
elements. Okay. So we'll pull some cards for the elements so everybody has a little bit of a, something here. And this is just, really generic. This is going to be for the next week. Okay. We're just going to keep it like that. What to expect: air, water, fire, earth. Okay. So we'll pull those. We'll pull you some cards and give you we'll say what the air signs are. And you don't have to go with exactly your sun sign. You can go with your rising sign. You can go with, where you have the majority of energy in your chart. Either way, it works. So, or you could just go, okay, today I'm going to pick air, and then just do that.
Yeah. What do you feel most influenced by? What kind of space are you in? You got to use your intuition. You got to hone those psychic muscles, those intuitive muscles.
Yes. Okay. So let's start with water signs. Jenny, water signs. Oh, that's good.
I need another second. You pulled that so fast. Hold on.
So for water signs, which is Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, that what I'm saying for you, what I see, you're very independent right now and you're in a good spot. And, I would say that there's a female. So this is if you're looking for, if it's a male, then you're in a sturdy spot. You're in a good spot. Watch out for maybe a Cancer or somebody that is not in your best interest, that, you're single, you're in a good place. If you are single, then there's somebody that's maybe not, that's a little distracted, has bad intentions, or maybe somebody's just even distracted where you're not getting the attention that you want. And you feel like a little all over the place. Could have to do with work, career, but I see this as more love and relationships. And, you're single right now, you're feeling good. And then, watch out for somebody that's maybe not in the best spot. What do you guys see, Jenny?
Okay. So what I'm going to do for each of the elements here is I'm going to pull 3 cards each. We have a card that represents your internal mechanisms, the internal state of things, the external state of things, and then the guidance card or the oracle card. So
real quick, one more thing too, Jenny, before the water door to value, and this is good. This is money's coming in for finances. So money's going to be really looking good for the water signs, which totally makes sense because Jupiter is getting ready to leave Libra, because I use the sidereal zodiac, and it's going into Scorpio finally. Yes, I know Western astrologers are going to say, no, it's already in Scorpio. No, it's not. It's in, you can look at it in the sky with your own eyes. It is actually in Libra. So it's going into Scorpio. I think it's the first week in October. So, money will feel a lot better because it's in its element. It's in a good element.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
So, okay. So for water signs and the internal mechanisms that we are going through right now is represented by the 7 of Cups. And funnily enough, that parallels the external mechanisms, which is the Seven of Discs. So while the Seven of Cups, this makes perfect sense for a water sign. Obviously, this is, has domain over emotions. But the Seven of Cups, this is like daydreaming, all of your awesome goals and dreams and desires that you have kind of floating around in there. And that's kind of this awesome parallel with the Seven of Discs, which as an external concept, this is the pressure of the world around you, the necessity of kind of making a decision or sticking to some kind of a productive regimen or productive routine. Because while the Seven of Cups wants to kind of sit back and sort of entertain all these possible ideas and spend all this time dreaming, the Seven of Discs it forces you to ask you, what are you going to do? What are you actually going to do? Are you going to wait another 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 6 weeks to make up your mind, to make a decision? Or are you going to be kind of, forced to be fast, to be quick on your feet? And the reason why I say that is because for the guidance card, I actually have the Devil that comes up. And in this, with the way that I read that for this is that the Devil is really about survival and necessity. So this is kind of where we're like, all right, you're on the inside, you have all of these ideas and you have all of these things that you'd like to do, but you're really being called to do it and to make a decision and to stop sitting on it. The Devil as guidance is actually very powerful because he is all about our vices. He's all about our responsibilities, the things that bind us to, the real world. That's bills and children and spouses and all of these things that depend on us to stop daydreaming and actually like do something and be really, really firm. So, and I know that water signs, we tend to be very deep people, very dreamy people. And sometimes this sort of stark reality of the outside world is like, hurry up. You kind of have to, snap out of it because we need you over here, right? But the Devil can be a very powerful archetype when, we're looking at ourselves and asking ourselves the real questions, like, what is it that I love to do? What is it that I need to do? So on and so forth.
Yeah. Okay.
So who's next? Fire? I hope that helps, Water.
Yes. That was good. Fire signs. Okay, so fire signs. I think things have been in a little bit of a slump for you or a little off kilter. You feel like maybe you're not having full effect in situations in your life like normal. And that's also because all these planets, especially Mars, has been retrograde. When Mars is retrograde, it really makes you feel tired. It just kind of dampers your energy. So there's a lot going on astrologically. Mercury was a mess. Now, in Saturn and everything else. I mean, it couldn't have been any crazier, literally. And I can tell you that I was exhausted physically. Like, I took more naps in the past month than I've taken in my entire life. And that's not normal. So there's just definitely, so things have been kind of in a slump, but it looks like for you're getting your power back. The Ace of Swords, so something quick that can come in, that's a good opportunity. It's going to come in fast. You're going to feel a lot better faster. And, so it looks really good. So it looks like you're going to get back control, whatever it is, like it could be an opportunity at work. It could be you find out the truth about something. It could be just you taking back control like you normally do. It could be having a relationship too that went out of whack. So maybe you felt that like three people, or you had a broken heart and like now you're getting your power back. Okay. So that's what I see more so for you. And money's coming in for you too. And if not, look out for a woman that could be a good opportunity. And if it's a guy, a woman that makes money could come into your life. So somebody that is financially stable, that has some good business ideas, that has good leadership skills. Or if you're a woman, you could just come into your money and finances are going to have good things coming up.
Sounds good.
Now for you, Jenny.
No, for me. Okay, so fire. Internal mechanism is represented by the world, aka the universe. I really like this because this really says to me that the fire signs right now are sort of assessing all fronts of their situations currently on a very internal level. So when the universe rules over how we're doing on the inside, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, this is really about being able to step into a higher perspective of your own situation, of your, you know, of your home, of your family, of your relationships, of your health, of your career. This is really kind of taking stock or taking inventory of where you're at with everything. So that's a very powerful place to be, feeling complete, feeling like, you know, you're willing to make any necessary changes. So that's really good, fire. As an external concept, we have the Prince of Swords. Now, because we're doing these readings for so many people, I can't confidently assess that this is one or even two people that you may be dealing with. You know, it could be a brother or brother-in-law, it could be a difficult child, it could be a difficult spouse or somebody difficult that you have to deal with. Typically, the Prince of Swords as a person is somebody who is very sharp with their communication. They can be very secretive. They can be cruel too. They have lots of powerful assets and powerful traits. They're very good business people. They're punctual, that sort of thing. But I want to actually categorize this as more of the external, as a collective, the concepts that you're dealing with collectively outside of yourself. So this could be, you know, the ideas of the people around you or the world around you that is very concerned with money, very concerned with scheduling and routine, and you know, the things that are very non-emotional and perhaps in your perspective, fire, things that are secondary, things that don't really cut to the emotional true core of things. They're just, you know, things that typically people have to do and think about. So I can kind of see fire right now being kind of annoyed with all of the things that they're being made to do that they don't want to do, because they're having a really great time enjoying what they've built for themselves. They're having a really good time sort of you know, being in their tribe, in their world. But as a guidance card here, and I shouldn't say but, I should say and, as a guidance card, we have the Knight of Discs, which again, as a mentality, the Knight of Discs is he's the family guy. Or if this is a woman, this is the type of woman that puts her family first. She's very, you know, happy to help people. She's very generous, that sort of thing. So as a guidance card, the Knight of Discs really is the kind of guy who's very concerned with protecting what's his, protecting the home, protecting the family, and being really good with your word, that sort of thing. It's a card of integrity. This is the integrity card. So, I mean, fire, it looks good as an external concept. That was the only kind of red flag. And that was, you know, that's an invitation to kind of be aware of the people around you that are kind of bottom line people. They have their own agenda. It could even represent the agenda of society as a collective. How it just vastly, it's just so different from your own idea of what is right and what is good. But you have to go out and interact with a world that just doesn't see it your way. But the best thing to do then, as prescribed by the guidance card, is to just put more energy into building your home and caring for your own and facilitating and fostering relationships with people in your community that are similar to you, finding common ground with people in your community. That's what the universe card is. That's what the world is that's your tribe. Those are your people. That's, you know, taking stock of who you can trust, who you can't trust, that sort of thing.
Okay.
That helps, fire.
Earth. Earth is, okay, let me just say what fire is for the people. I'm sorry, guys. I have some sunburn too. Okay, so for fire signs, that is Aries, Sagittarius, and Leo. That's who we were just talking about. Okay. Now for earth signs, which is Virgo, it's Capricorn and Taurus. Today is one of those.
You do this in your sleep.
I know, but my sleep recently has been thinking about weird stuff. I'm going to say this. My intuition has been so freaking spot on. Like I'm seeing shit. Like it's crazy. And it's even beyond the dream space.
Ooh.
Echo shit going on. All right, Earth. Yikes, Earth. Wow. So for Earth signs, let's just say that there could be definitely a lot of struggle, fights, strive, battles, going on in your life. It could just be internally, or it can be, just messages it can have to deal with. It can have to do with fights with kids, fights with, authorities, or just fights with maybe authority to change, or, there is definitely something going on, to say the least. I would say something's out of whack for you guys. Marriages, you want happiness, but there's a lot going on. Money's not, it's up and down, I would say, for some of you. Some of you are feeling powerless as well, which makes sense. And, because really you're getting blasted with something intense too, K2, which can take things away and remove things that are in Capricorn. So, it definitely has that effect of, Earth signs like to feel stable and grounded. Okay. And if they don't have control and they don't like change, if it's like a fast, quick change, that's very hard for them to suck up. So they like things kind of slow and steady wins the race, with like all Earth signs do. I mean, Tauruses, Virgos, and Capricorns, every one of them. All right. So, and they don't give up. They don't like to, Earth signs are intense like that. Sometimes I look at Earth signs like fixed signs too, because, they're just so stubborn sometimes. Okay. And when you're like that, but then a lot of things are going to be changing unexpectedly, things that you don't like, fights just change and people are changing and, things are changing. There can be a lot of, uneasiness, to say the least. And I'm saying that in the nicest way possible, because you don't like that. So it is going to improve. It's just a transit right now. So something good is going to come in. But I really do believe that you might need to rebuild something. Maybe you're being stubborn with relationships, stubborn with your kids, stubborn with, like, I'm seeing a lot of stuff with kids too. So I think it has to do with a lot of family. The anxiety is going to go away. It will. It's shifting. So you're at your last. Yeah. And that's another thing. Virgos worry all the time. Capricorns worry, even though you don't know they're worrying. And so do Tauruses. There can be a lot of anxiety. So it's going away. Relax and stop being so hard on everybody. That's my message to you.
Okay. So, all right. So as an internal mechanism for you Earth folks, I have the art card, also known as Temperance. Okay. I just, so everybody knows, as a point of reference, I use the Thoth deck. So my cards are a little bit different from other decks. But either way, it's very, very similar. So, but as an internal mechanism, Temperance comes after death. Okay. So the change has already occurred. The metamorphosis, the transformation, the clearing away of all that no longer serves us, that has happened. Okay. So that walking through the fire, that dark night of the soul, that is now behind us, and that clearing away has taken place. And so when Temperance comes in and stands there as an archetype, what Temperance tells us is now it's okay to apply that which we have learned and kind of put together all of the, sort of when we build ourselves back up and we fuse all of these pieces. And then we get a really good look at everything. We get a really good look at who we really are now. And so as an Earth sign, this really is about, checking your physical state, because obviously Earth has domain over our flesh and bones and blood and our connection to things that are, metal and wood and glass and stone. So this really is about a lot of physical things. This could be a lot about our health. This could be about our homes, the physical things that we have. So these changes have already taken place. And when temperance comes up, this really is about having patience with ourselves and patience with the people around us. So Heidi, when you said kind of take it easy with yourself and take it easy with the people around you, because sometimes Earth people have standards and they oftentimes hold people around them to their own standard, which can then cause a lot of conflict because it's like, hey, dude, you're not the only one around. This isn't all about you and your standards. You know what I mean? So Earth people are like that. They're powerful people. Yeah. They're assertive, stubborn people. So when I look at the external mechanism taking place with Earth right now, I have the Ace of Swords, which I think is kind of uncomfortable for a lot of Earth signs because swords is such a mental, airy state of being, and the ace is always the start of something. So what we have here internally is we have the end of something, a realization, a coming to terms with things in temperance. And then the external thing that we have is the start of some big new challenge or some clear new undertaking. As always indicated by the Ace of Swords, this is something that at one point may have been hidden and is now revealed to us. So sometimes that can be tough, okay? And the reason why I think that it's kind of a uncomfortable change, although something necessary, is by what I'm getting from the Seven of Wands right now. And the Seven of Wands is a card of sticking to your guns. This is about being motivated. So oftentimes the Seven of Wands will come up when we feel like we're being backed into a corner or we are being kind of hastened with something, whether it be urgency with finances, urgency with health, urgency with travel. So it's this something is beckoning us to be really quick about something. So motivation is important for Earth right now. Sticking to your guns, it's really about not backing down. So I know that's kind of all over the place, but I really hope that it sticks. I'm just kind of like letting it come out because I know that whoever is listening to this, whoever decided to tune in, and this is always how it works, is how it works for me when I watch other people on like live, like randomly. I'm like, oh my gosh, like I tuned in because I absolutely needed to hear this message. So I know that that's how it works for us here too.
And when you were saying that, I just thought of how many readings I've recently had for like Virgo risings or Capricorns and for Taurus. And, I have to say something because that energy is so, you're like you said, you brought up the standards thing. And, it's funny because they have the highest standards in the world, but they tend to sometimes pick a lot of like trash. Okay. And then they get the trash and they try to fix it to their standards. You're never going to fix certain things. Like people that are at a certain standard, which you have your high standards, they're never going to be there, but you still try to fix it and you still try to make it work because you don't want to give up, because that Earth energy will fight until it cannot fight anymore, even if they're getting their ass kicked. Like literally, they could be getting physically beat. I'm getting so frustrated because I've watched a lot of crime scene investigations too. So like, I know, I can tell in a lot of these crime scene things, a lot of these people have Virgo in their chart, and Virgos like to that heavy Virgo energy, like I don't have this. I have Venus in Virgo. It's not like this, but a lot of people that have weak Virgo energy, like Saturn in Virgo or something, or, they tend to stay in abusive relationships where people treat them like shit. And then they go have, it's just, so stay away. And there's a lot of things going on here. I can see, and I know there's a lot of heavy energy. So, if you have to walk away from somebody or something that's like not good for you, you need to finally step up and make some moves. Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. So.
Thank you, moderators. You guys are so on it. Thank you.
God, I'm feisty too. I'm lucky I can't even see what they have said.
No, that's good. I have like maybe 2 or 3 moderators maximum.
I have like 102.
That's really good.
Okay. Next, last, this is for air signs: Libra, Aquarius. What other one am I missing? Gemini.
Oh, Geminis. I love my Geminis.
That's all I deal with is Geminis. It's so crazy. It's so funny. Alrighty. Air signs.
I just wanted to say, so someone says, aren't the cards chosen at random? And technically, yes, we're not planning out which card that we're pulling. That's the point of shuffling. But one has to understand synchronicity and what that is. And when we get into the state of divination where we're pulling cards for people, our intention is to seek clarity for these people, to act as kind of vessels through which we use our interpretations, our intuition, our imagination to convey a message. Okay, so it's not actually random because we believe that we are working and acting as intermediaries between spirit and laptop.
And guys, just so you know, Trump, I saw a comment there that Trump is, so Trump Vedic way is actually a Taurus sun, which makes a hell of a lot more sense. Okay, think about this. A Taurus sun, if you didn't know Trump before, what would you think of him on the streets? Would you think of him as a Taurus? Okay, the Wall Street man, the financially savvy man, or would you think of him as a Gemini? Think about that. And his aggressiveness, his outspoken, his, that kind of stuff is his Leo rising sign with Mars in the first house. But how people see him, that your sun sign is kind of like your groups, your peers, how it's, don't you see Trump more of a Taurus than a Gemini? Trump has Taurus sun written all over him. Now it's with Rahu and it's a little unpredictable, but Rahu and Taurus is just all about the money. And that's all he is. That's why he has gone up those levels.
It's all very crazy what's happening right now.
Yeah, no, we were not even go there because I'll lose probably half of the subscribers. That's how ridiculous this is. But I'm just not even going to talk about it now because truly, I do want to talk about it so bad because I'm so angry.
I know.
Because I just feel so bad for him. I do. People are
careful. Let's just get through these readings and see what we're on for time. And then if it's not too late, maybe you can rant.
Yeah, no. Okay. So for the air signs, you're feeling like money's opportunity is not there. Money's not coming in quick enough. You're really worrying about money. Okay. You're impatient. You're impatient about like things moving fast and they're not happening right now. And you're closed off. You're not seeing clearly. Okay. And which totally, can, with all these planets and what's going on, that can do that to you. Especially Mercury was just retrograde. Okay. And Mars is doing some weird stuff. So finance stuff could have not been coming through right. Things are not being as steadfast as you would like. Okay. So this is just for a couple weeks a week. Financial constraints. Both decks. All right. So look, it's money. It's all about the money here with you guys. I can tell. So let's see from my side. Okay. Dreams coming true, moving on, and master. So, the thing I'll say with air signs is when they get stuck in their ways, they can get very, I'm not saying I'm not like this because I'm definitely selfish. They can get very selfish, and it's not a bad thing. I don't look at saying selfish as a bad thing. I think if you're selfish, you need to be somewhat selfish because if you're not, people can walk all over you. Okay. So when air signs tend to like float around though, go back to their past exes, go back, like they can never just full-fledged move forward. They waddle around like with both sides. They're like, oh, well, maybe I'll just go call my ex again. No, maybe I'll just try that and keep it on the back burner. That's your problem. You don't master something. You're just floating around in outer space. sometimes, in my opinion, the air signs need to just get a little more grounded and definitely like, you know, try to focus on maybe one thing. And, you know, if you want to be in a relationship, don't be sitting there calling all your exes, you know, and keeping them on the back burner. If you want something good to work, if you're worrying about money, you know, start making some action, you know, and don't be all over the place, because they can spend money all over the place too. All right. So, you know, it's not a bad thing. I'm just saying right now you're feeling definitely like, you know, a little out of sorts. Finances are not coming through. You're being impatient. So my thing for you is you need to get some patience.
Okay. So I have something a little bit different, but that's okay, because listen, there's, you know, everybody's going to get what they got to get out of this. So as an internal mechanism, air, I have the 10 of Cups, which is really quite wonderful, because what this shows me is that what you're looking for is truly to be happy, satisfaction. And so sometimes
we'll never be, though. No, I'm kidding. Oh, sorry, I had to say that. Good.
Oh God, Heidi just told all air signs they'll never be happy.
Because you won't, because you're not the person.
So, that's really funny. I don't feel that way, but I don't think Heidi really feels that way either. But she's just joking. Heidi's having a good time. So the 10 of Cups as an internal mechanism really is all about that, being in that place where you're asking yourself what makes you feel good. And so there's an emphasis also on interpersonal relationships with this card. So this is about the healthy things, the things that actually bring us to this full circle of satisfaction. So, but it could also indicate sometimes like laziness and kind of complacency as well. And as an external mechanism, we actually have the Death card, which again, this is about huge metamorphosis, huge transitions. It could be that, you know, you're not ready to let go of something when the world around you is letting go of you. So that's kind of what this stark contrast looks like to me. Is like deep down, you're like, but everything's so good. This is so good. Things are so great. But you look outside and things are really changing rapidly. It could be your company is undergoing huge changes, or, you know, what you thought was going to be perfectly fine is changing for better, for worse. That's not really indicated to me, but because death is not always a bad change. We know that. Heidi and I, we love the Death card because this is all about clearing away. Clearing away of things is never bad, even if it hurts temporarily, makes you uncomfortable temporarily. When death comes in, he says, I'm ridding of you and for you everything that no longer serves a purpose. So it's a really positive thing in that respect. And as the guidance card for air, I have the 6 of Cups, which is a card of children, nostalgia, family, memories, old relationships, old friendships, close like networking, people that you're really, really good friends with and have good conversations with. So as a guidance card, I say that this is really about being with your people and perhaps kind of looking back on things. And this could even, sometimes this is about like reconciliation with somebody that you used to be with or used to have, or sometimes in a family situation, this could be family members that were estranged, that are now kind of trying to mend things, patch things up a little bit. But as a guidance card, the 6 of Cups really is a peaceful place to be. So this isn't like everybody gets your swords out and, you know, it's time to fight. This is more about let's be really respectful. Let's be sensitive to each other's emotions and needs and wants. And I know that's kind of love and light and fruity and fluffy, but sometimes this is what's needed of us. So right. That's what I'm getting for you, air. And I don't think that comes naturally to air signs. They're not, typically in my experience, they're not always the most docile or, you know, kind of cuddly. I don't know.
No, they're not. And, you know, it's something I wanted, when I said that, I didn't, because it sounded so bitchy. And that's just sometimes how I sound. Sorry. But like when I talked and do readings for air signs, like I'm talking about Gemini, like I'm talking about the rising sign. I'm not talking about sun signs here, guys, or the moon sign. Sun signs to me don't matter unless it's in your first house or it's conjunct the moon, then it might matter a little bit more. But when I do Gemini's charts, or or especially Aquarius. Okay, Aquarius people, they tend to really like, they don't realize it because they're brilliant. Air signs are smart, so they're always like living in that other dimensions and have all these great ideas and constantly thinking about how to change the world on a big scale way, you know. So a lot of people in their lives suffer. That's what I've noticed, because I've noticed that when I do the readings, I'll never forget I did this reading for this guy and his wife was there and she walked through and I said, watch this, let me ask her a question. Do you feel like when he, you know, when you say something, he's not even paying attention to you? And she was like, absolutely, say blah, blah, blah. And like, that's how the air signs can really sometimes make other people feel uncomfortable and make other people feel worthless, because you sometimes don't, and you don't mean to do this. It's not like you're intentionally doing this, because he's even said, I don't do that. There's no way. He goes, like, he wasn't even aware of this, you know? So, and it's not a bad thing, because, you know, air signs are my favorite people to be around usually, because I don't have any air in my chart. So I need like that as much as I can get. But you know, that's what I've noticed, that a lot of times. So with other people, there's just can be some conflicts.
Yeah. Well, yeah, air signs are very intellectual. If you think about air and what it is, you can't catch it. You can't hold it down. You can't contain it. I mean, you can contain it, but it's not very comfortable. Okay. So, you know, it's kind of hard to pin down an air sign. They like to flit around a lot from person to person, relationship to relationship, career to career. Not everybody. And then when it's channeled properly, this is actually a very powerful place to be, because this is the inventor, the engineer, the person who's always trying to be, you know, the ingenuity there is unparalleled, because they're always looking to the next thing, always looking to evolve, to progress, to improve. So they are terrific inventors and creators, and they create all kinds of new techniques and things.
Technology, like big time. Yeah. Yep. All right. So we have a couple charts that we're going to do here. And then we're going to do, so first, so down here in the super chat, first, we're going to go down this list, but okay, Lindsay, let's pull a card for Lindsay. Thanks, Lindsay. Lindsay, you're sweet. You always donate. Thank you very much. And it's not that we don't appreciate them, guys. I'm sorry. I'm just, sometimes I don't, you know, it's just, I don't let people pay for things for me. Sometimes it makes me uncomfortable, you know? Like I'm not that person that it makes me feel weird. Sorry. So thank you for all the super chatters. It's very nice of you. Because I feel bad if we don't get to you, or, you know. Yeah. Okay. So look, this is good, Lindsay, because I remember last time I pulled you a card, it wasn't the best and it looked a little stressful.
Can we ask Lindsay? Okay, so Lindsay, what I would like to do is narrow it down. So if you'd like to pick some kind of an arena, like finances or health or relationships or spiritual path, you know, let me know, because it could, I mean, we can be real general here, or we could be real specific.
All right, Lindsay, well, watch out for that in the chat, Jenny, for you. Okay, I'm going to tell you for you what I see. I see you needing to make a different change, like a big change in your life, and actually like kind of make a change that's a really scary change. Something that is, you know, your darkest fears. Okay. And, you know, a lot of people are so scared of change that, you know, that's one of the, like, out of all the people's fears, that's it's like proven facts that change is scary to some people as death. Like me, I like the more change, the merrier. Like I change it up on a daily basis, you know, and my life is great. But some people don't like that. But the change that this looks like for you is, I mean, there's some opportunities that you might miss out on if you stick in those ways. Okay. So I don't know what it is for you from me, but I'm just saying, you got to face some fears right now, because you really can have some awesome things coming very soon. Wheel of Fortune, this yin yang card, which is opportunities can come in. You're getting balanced. You're getting back together. So, you know, don't go back to those. Face the fears and move along, because I think it's going to be good. Okay. Did she say anything?
Yeah. So she says that she's thinking about moving. So that makes sense. You said the Wheel of Fortune, that has a huge implication of moving.
Yeah.
So let me see here.
You should, okay, if it has to do with that, move.
Yeah.
Don't even, I'm not even saying, oh, well, it's 50-50. Here, watch. All right. Should Lindsay, okay, first of all, guys, new trick. Make sure everybody that has purchased a set of divination rods, new trick, make sure you ask the rods before you ask them questions to show me a yes. Watch this. This happened to me recently. Show me a yes. That used to be my no. Ever since the planets went retrograde, it's been worsening.
Heidi's poles shifted.
Okay. Yeah, I swear to God, it was really weird. So then I'm scared because I'm like, oh my God, how many wrong things have I said? So now I have to say, show me a yes every time I do them. All right. Should Lindsay move her residence?
So she's thinking of moving back to her hometown.
Should Lindsay move back to her hometown? Yeah. Looks like it, for me, it's looking like it's a yes.
It looks like it's a yes from me too. There's a lot of women associated with this. So I don't know if, I have the Princess of Cups, the Eight of Discs, and the Queen of Wands. I think when we're looking at the Princess of Cups as a person, this is younger women. This could be a daughter, a niece, a daughter-in-law, younger sister. There's a lot of sister energy here. So I don't know if you're going back to be with, like your sisters or female cousins or what that is there. But there's a lot of welcoming energy in the form of feminine archetypes. The Eight of Discs also is about kind of all of the logistics associated with moving. So, if this is something that you are willing to put work into, it is something that looks like it would be a good thing to do. There's no red flags here or anything like that. But the Eight of Discs is also a card of choice. So while I can tell you that there's, out of these three cards, there's nothing that indicates to me that it would be a negative move. What this is more of a question of, how close do you want to be? Because when you go back, you will be around these people, the Queen of Wands and the Princess of Cups. There will be, looks like there's kids involved or younger women. The Princess of Cups is often somebody who's vulnerable, somebody who's needy. So I don't know if you'd be going back and kind of stepping into some kind of a matriarchal role, or
her sister wants her to move in with her.
Oh, okay. So that's what it is. I mean, does your sister have a daughter? A younger woman, Princess of Cups, vulnerable, emotional, maybe psychic, could be kind of troublesome. Emotional women end up being, they have their mood swings and stuff. So it really is a question of what it is that you want to do. It doesn't look like it's failed. It's destined to fail or anything like that, that's what we're looking for when we look at whether or not somebody should move. We want to look at the red flags. So. All
right. So now for Sally, she just asked if she can have some cards pulled. So Sally.
Hey, we're not on signs, Jacqueline. We're done with the signs. We actually did the elements / signs, but
cool.
we're doing readings. 8 kids. Wow. 1 daughter. Hi, everybody.
Looks like for Sally, looks like somebody is trying to there's definitely somebody in your life.
Wait, are we on we're on the next person?
Yeah. I have to say for you, this could have to do with a lawsuit or an agreement or something that has to do with some money. You're losing some money, or somebody is trying to steal money from you, or maybe you're giving somebody too much money where you shouldn't be. And somebody's draining you, it may be possible, or you're spending money on something
Someone just asked the question. They said, can you make a choice and do something out of character to bypass the tarot prediction? Yes. Short answer, yes, you can.
Wait, say that again?
Someone said, can you make a choice and do something out of character to bypass the tarot prediction? And the answer is absolutely. It doesn't even have to be out of character. If somebody gives you, if your tarot reader gives you a prediction and he or she does not provide to you things that you can do or things that you should avoid in order to facilitate the best outcome, you don't have a good reader, because there are always steps that you can take or not take in order to get the outcome that you want. A tarot prediction is
by asking to pull more cards. That's what I do. That's what I do.
I've learned you have to stop pulling cards at a certain point, because you just confuse yourself, and tarot does not care about your feelings.
Oh.
It's pretty funny.
All right, Sally. Look, for you, I see fortune. Maybe you're going to make some money on a house, okay? But there is somebody in your life, maybe from a divorce or something, or maybe a broken heart, but there is some man that might not be the best. Could have to do with somebody at work. Ooh. Somebody you don't know at work. But it can be averted. Like whatever this is, it's something that, is not that serious, I think, that's going on in your life. It's serious.
Was Sally looking at something in particular?
No, she just said, can you pull me some cards? So you have to understand, if you had a topic or I was looking at your chart, all I have to say, it looks like it has to do with authority, money, job, work, out of whack, affecting your home life, affecting, or maybe you're spending money on something that's not, it's like injustice or something. Sally, you could make some remarks in here and say what you want to know. Tell us what you want to talk about.
Thank you, JC. Lindsay, it's okay. So I know I'm like kind of going backwards here, Heidi, but I'm still kind of on Lindsay's, just because it was apparent to me the Princess of Cups often represents children. She's the softest, most vulnerable card of the court cards, which, the most innocent and precious among us are children. So she represents children. So you'll be spending a lot of time with these kids, even if they're grown. They are still kind of the youngsters. They're the next generation. So there'll be a lot of that going on. So you just have to ask yourself if that's, if that's a change that you are willing to embrace, more time with the family and so on and so forth.
Okay. So Sally, somebody said that Sally said she was being sued or in a lawsuit. Okay.
Okay. Well, she's gonna have more Jellins. Okay. She'll go back to work and she's being sued. Okay. So what I've found, and this is, I'm not even touching the cards yet, but a lot of people that identify as what's known as TIs, or targeted individuals, will see a slew of events take place all around the same time, within the same few months or the same few years. But Morgellons is actually one of those designer diseases that was invented by deep black projects and sort of deployed into the population, and it attacks specific people. It can be very targeted indeed. So at the same time, to be dealing with getting sued, that does seem like an attack on all fronts. I'd like to pull a few cards for you, Sally.
It looks like, you know what? It looks like it's going to come around, because I just pulled the Queen of Pentacles reversed and then this reversed, and now they're upright. So I have a feeling that, yeah, I just reshuffled and they came back out. So no, we're doing some charts, but don't do any more super chats. I already picked the 3 charts. I have to get off by 9. So there's no more charts. I already picked the charts. Sorry, guys. You should have been in here earlier. Okay. So I think for you, it's going to be shifting positively, but it has to do with finance. Jenny, what did you answer for her?
Wait a second.
Okay.
because I mean, I really want to narrow it down because she could see the better like side of this lawsuit, but then the health could not mirror that. So I want to be specific. So, money things we can deal with. Health things can also be dealt with. I'd like to see where her energy should really be going right now. That's what I'd like to look at.
All right.
Just a sec.
Okay.
Okay. So, all right. So basically what's reflected here are your troubles. Unfortunately, tarot will do that sometimes, in order for the reader to see just how dire the situation is. Tarot has to reflect to us all the negative aspects. So I have the five of discs, the Tower, and the Knight of Wands. So, it is indicated to me that that feeling of being left out in the cold, abandoned, kind of on your own with everything. The Tower is things not going according to plan, unforeseen, kind of crumbling, unexpected events that just put a huge damper in your plan. But the Knight of Wands is kind of the wild card here because the Knight of Wands is very much about, in this case, it's either a very good idea, a kind of a way out, like some kind of a creative resolution to all of this. It could be in the form of a person. The Knight of Wands, I've actually had this card come up for people that are really good talkers, very motivating, very persuasive. So an attorney, a kind of a good attorney is kind of where I'm going with all of this. The Knight of Wands is the kind of guy to fight fire with fire. So in a situation like this, depending on, the circumstances involved, it does look like you're not going to want to lay down and kind of let things ride out. The Knight of Wands is a very active card. It's an active element, an active archetype. So this is the kind of invitation to be very proactive about something. Unfortunately, when the Five of Discs comes up and indicates these issues with the health, this is the card of kind of illness and seasons of weakness, rather. It can be hard to find motivation, physical motivation, resources, energy. It's really hard to come by. But so what I want to do is just pull a guidance card where you can be kind of pulling your resources from, whether that be energetic, monetary. There's always a solution. With every problem, there's always a solution hidden in there somewhere.
You can watch the Lolita movie on YouTube for free, just so whoever wants to know. So we're real quick, just while Jenny's shuffling, we're going to do charts. These are the last charts. This is who the charts are going to be. If White Tiger confirms that if he's August 2nd or February 8th, him. Rose 77, T Peter. These are the charts we're doing because they're the only people that wrote their number. They're like before I said the cutoff. Rose 77. And those are the only charts. And then we'll pull a card for the rest of the people. For Jacqueline, yes. Taryn, yes. Jack, not doing your chart. You missed the cutoff, but I'll pull you a card. All right. Go ahead, Jenny. Sorry.
Okay. So, Sally, source of energy, your kind of reserves that you can pull from here. I'm seeing a female relative, a younger female relative that is going to be there to offer some kind of emotional support. And then I'm also seeing, I have the Four of Wands as well as the Universe card. So this looks like people getting together for the holidays. A lot of times this is like a family gathering, some kind of a reunion, or even like if there was some kind of a separation or an estrangement, the Four of Wands really brings people back together. So if you're particularly alone and like people in your life have cut you out or stopped talking to you and you feel really alone and isolated, your best course of action right now, not even specifically for this lawsuit or anything else, But your best course of action in general is to find your tribe and to not allow yourself to be too isolated right now. Because I think that there's no way that you're going to start feeling better if you're completely alone, or even if you feel completely alone. So this really is about allowing yourself to be kind of vulnerable. That's what the Princess of Cups does. That's what she encourages us to do. But also, if she is representing a person, she is a younger female relative who is very receptive, very sensitive and emotional. And it could be that it's kind of opening those bridges and communicating with people is the first step to getting better and to finding a resolution with everything that you're going through. You're really going to have to speak up right now.
So the people that are like saying stuff about the readings, if you want a real reading, I mean, this is just like, this isn't even a real reading. This is just like a taste. Okay. If you real readings, you got to schedule them. So jennymoonstone.com and one of a kind by Heidi.org. And if you don't like the weights with me and you don't, you know, there's other Vedic astrologers, or seriously, get a reading with Jenny. Jenny is an awesome tarot reader. I mean, all I have to say is she is always spot on.
Thank you, Heidi. All right. So let's get going.
Oh God. Can you tell that Heidi is a little intense right now?
That's great.
I just get like so many people, like people ruin it sometimes for other people because some of the emails that I get, they just like start running through my head and like, I feel like I have to address it. So
yeah, you really don't though. You really don't.
I do, because I do get a lot of crazy people that send me crazy messages and stuff. So it needs to come out.
Well, lately for me, it's been people bashing me because I identify as a pagan. Yeah. So they're like, oh my God, Jesus isn't your Lord and Savior. You're a devil woman.
Yeah. All right. So now this is for, okay, now we have a chart. So this chart is, did you see in the chat, Jenny? Look, okay, would you do me a huge favor when I start the one chart? Look in the chart for this white tiger guy who's from India to see if he's 8'2" or 2'8", 1991.
Hey, white tiger, if you're still here.
The white tiger from India. Okay.
It's a sacred animal.
Okay, so the first birthday is 4/25/1977. All right, that's the first one I'm doing. Okay, are you February 8th or August 2nd? Okay.
August 2nd, 1991.
Okay, I'm going to start with you, actually.
It blows my mind doing, like, these youngins out here. I love it. I love it.
No, it's good. All right, so this person is a Capricorn rising, Saturn in the first house. That's why he's getting readings, because he's a Capricorn rising with Saturn in the first house. He's an old soul. He grows up fast. Disciplined, structure, hard worker, hustler. You might feel like you have to work very hard for a lot of things in life, okay? And you'll feel like nothing is going to ever come easier. Like you have a ton of like boundaries or restrictions around you all the time, or you feel like, you know, it's a lot of hard work. But your Saturn's in the nakshatra of Uttarashada, which is the nakshatra of, you know, winning battles. And, you know, if you keep up with things always, you will, you know, completely like blow people away, especially because you have your moon in a Swani. So in the fourth house. So that's definitely somebody that is, you know, constantly like it's an Aries moon. So always quick speed, like even though you think fast, you have that Saturn and that boundary and that groundedness of you to, you know, make decisions that are cool and collective. And you're going to really think things through, but you might worry too much about things. You might overanalyze things too much. You have Ketu in the 6th, Rahu in the 12th. You're definitely a healer. That's for sure.
White tiger, I need a couple things from you. Okay. If you're in the chat right now, I need you to give me
shut up, Heidi.
What your friends call you. So it could be a nickname. It could be your first name, an abbreviation of your first name. I need that. I can't just go by a screen name anymore. That's not working for me. If my reading isn't going to be accurate, I'd rather not do it. So White Tiger, can you just give me your first name or what your friends call you? And also you can just give me 1 word, 2 words of something in your life, either finances, work, relationships, career, whatever it is. Just give me a little bit.
Also for you,
Okay.
right now you're having some changes. All right. Shifts in your first house, 7th house. So partnerships, relationships, it could just be, just you, school, moves, anything like that. So big changes in your life. And, depending on getting married, maybe, I don't know, sometimes Indians marry young, depending on that. But I want to say one last thing. You have all this creativity in your chart, like a ton. You're probably really savvy with like technology too. So, but you have all this like actor. You even have this, like this, where you could be an actor. Okay, so you need to really use my advice for you in life for forever is not only are you going to be good behind the scenes, you're also very magnetic, and you'll be able to, do something serious, and invent something serious, or create something serious. But you need to also branch out and use those skills you have, and not worry so much about everything, because you have to use your creative self-expression. Okay, that's all I had to say to you.
Hi, Laura. Supernatural says, White Tiger, be like, what? That's my real name. That's funny.
Heidi does karate chop my pillows. Yes, because I work in a model home. So absolutely I do.
Yeah. Oh my God. I've been watching all the HGTV shows, and it's so funny.
That's what we have to, because
lots of chopping pillows. I can't wait to get into real estate. I'm so excited. Okay, so all right. So here's the thing. Job. We did job first, and then I'll pull a card or 2 for relationship advice. I really want to keep it to one thing, so that we can really kind of focus on that, because if we're all over the place, it's hard enough doing these readings remotely, like with someone I can't hear, I can't see, I know not, you know what I mean? It's really kind of awkward for me. Okay, so when it comes to your job, I have the 4 of Cups and 2 aces. So this tells me if you're in a place right now, you're done with it. So the 4 of Cups is about being indifferent, just totally unmotivated, unsatisfied. It sucks, okay? 4 of Cups is being indifferent, not caring. But if what you are in the middle of is a transition, or you're thinking about a transition, there's a lot of that sort of energy of inception supporting you. 2 aces, where we're talking about job or career, this is all about starting something completely new. And it's also about stability. So the Ace of Discs and Swords is the combination that you would want for either getting a promotion, or starting something new, as opposed to like the Ace of Cups, which is about new relationships. This is very much about more money, more authority. The Ace of Swords is a card of authority. So I don't really know what you're going through right now with your job, because you just said job. But if you were looking to transition, I would say that the energies support that, as reflected by 2 aces, and kind of leaving aside that which doesn't motivate you. The 4 of Cups is about really not caring, being here nor there with it. So let me pull a card for relationship advice for you.
And when people even put their birthdays in here, you have to understand, for me to do any reading for you, a Vedic reading, I won't even let you schedule a reading unless you have seen your time off of your birth certificate, or I won't respond to you. So if you haven't put that in the notes, I won't even respond. So I need your month, day, year, city, location, and exact time from the birth certificate, and the city.
And your mother's blood type.
Yeah, and that too.
Your favorite food. And your first pet's name as a child.
Yes, Heidi is half Italian and German. Half Italian and half German.
Okay, so relationship advice. Sorry. Okay, so okay, so this is kind of, okay, I have the Nine of Wands and the Six of Swords. So just going off of these cards plus my intuition, I want to say that the Nine of Wands is kind of like you're close but no cigar. Nine obviously coming right before 10. The Nine of Wands is about being really, really close to the finish line, but there's something not working. So when this is followed up directly by the Six of Swords, this is about retweaking, sort of tweaking your formula here, because the Six of Wands is, I'm sorry, the Six of Swords is really about evolving, doing better, getting together a new plan, a new strategy, and just doing better. Okay, so whatever you're not doing right, or whatever you're doing right now, you really need to clean it up a little bit, because you're close but no cigar. That's kind of what I keep getting right now for you, is close but no cigar. So clean it up, tweak it a little bit. What you're doing, if it's not working, you're really going to have to be honest with yourself and be very clear about, you know, the various facets of your personality, because that's what the Six of Swords is. It's the mind. Okay, it's a huge mental faculty, and it's your thought process. So you're going to have to look at how you perceive relationships, how you perceive, you know, casual dating. You have to be really honest with yourself and see what you're doing that isn't working. So I hope that helps.
Yeah. Okay, so next I'm going to do 4/25/77, 1908. And Jenny, for you, this is a Libra rising, Cancer moon, Sun in Aries, if you see any of those cards, okay?
Okay.
And then I'll tell you the transits. But this is hold on. Let's see. 4/25/77. This is Rose. So I would assume a woman. All right. And she wants to know, oh, here we go. Perfect. USA. She wants to know about her finances. Okay. So for you, Rose, Libra rising, Rahu in the first house. I'm going to tell you there's going to be a lot of unpredictability in your life with Rahu in the first house. Okay. You're going to struggle with issues in relationships. I feel like I might have done your chart before. So we keep it kind of brief, and we're going to try to get straight to the core of what you asked. But right now you could definitely be having some shifts with how you are thinking. Your emotions are heavily triggered right now. Okay. And you have Jupiter in your first house, expanding things, giving you opportunities. Wait until after October. Jupiter is going to go into your second house of Scorpio. That will be a lot better for money for you, I think. That's just from a first quick glance. So right now it just could be giving you a little more instability, more expenses, maybe even, you know, but if money is going to improve after October, I would have to say, but we'll confirm with the cards. But you're emotionally, you're a little off your rocker right now, I would say. So try to, you know, keep it together. Finances is what she wants to know.
Okay. I'm sorry, I'm like slightly distracted all of a sudden because I smell bacon.
Oh, you're funny. Yeah. Finances are going to look good for you, you know, I would say for work, but Ten of Swords did come up too. So I'd have to say, but the King of Pentacles, Three of something with work is going on.
Okay. Prince of Wands, Knight of Cups, Princess of Discs. Okay, so I asked specifically about finances. So whenever I have court cards come up, indicating anything with finances, I feel like this is indicative of all the issues, the people that are kind of at the root or affected most by the financial issues. So the Prince of Wands, this to me is like the stereotypical like son that's like kind of lives at home or mooches or has like spends money recklessly. Sometimes the Prince of Wands is just a guy who spends money very like flamboyantly and isn't good with money. The Knight of Cups, I feel like there's a lot of people involved here. There's a lot of people either that you care for, that you spend money on, and people that like kind of expect money from you possibly. Or it could be that you willingly give it and it's kind of just a drain, and you need to then assess why you give so much of yourself away. You know, in which case that's like, you really got to be conservative with finances then. If you're always giving to other people and you find that you don't have any or you're not comfortable, that needs to change. So
yeah, that's good. Yeah.
She says she has kids. Are your kids very expensive? I mean, it's weird because I just see like hands out, people expecting things. There's a lot of people around.
And it looks like romance is on the rocks, maybe. Okay, I'm going to read you this card advice, because card 17, when you're not taking action. Okay, so this is probably what you need to hear. Action is the accelerant that ignites your desires, but when it's reversed, you may find that something is missing in your determination or follow through. Perhaps you've been engaging in more wishful thinking than consistent effort. Maybe you need to make some adjustments in what you're paying attention to, create a structured plan, and make sure you take it to action. Be flexible yet persistent and ever conscious of your own ability to act on your own behalf. Okay. Next. Do you have anything else, Jenny, or we go to the next, right?
Just so I know,
okay,
how many do we have left?
All right.
I can prepare myself mentally.
This is the last ones we're doing, guys. I already did a cutoff. So we're going to do T. Peters. We're going to do...
I can pace myself a little bit.
Lindsay. Oh, wait, no more. Lindsay, hold on. No. Jacqueline, Taryn. And so 1, 2... These ones creeped up on here. So, all right, that's who we're doing.
Okay. I know.
And hold on, one person said, Jenny, maybe pull a card. What is my mission, or anything about my mission? So we'll do that one too. Start with that one. It's Susan Dobson. No more, guys, please, please, please.
Well, because you guys, honestly, like what happens is that the quality of it starts to suffer because, you know, we're conduits and it's very draining. And like I said, like it's the same thing with people that are professional, like chefs or professional artists. If there's something that they're not confident in, or they don't have pride in how they've done it. Like in my case, I would rather not give a reading at all, or like reschedule a reading if I think that day I totally suck. If I'm too tired, if I'm sick or unhealthy, if I'm emotionally distraught, my readings are going to suck. And I'm really honest with people. If something comes up and I can't handle it, I'm like, listen, I'm really sorry. I'm going through something. I'm going to suck today. But if you catch me on this day at this time, I'll just be more able to do it. So it's kind of similar with these live readings is we reach a point where it's like it's muddy now. There's been too much interface with the AI. It's very distracting. It's not even healthy, honestly. It's kind of unhealthy, I have to say.
Susan, for me, I have to say, I'm going to say you're a little frustrated. You feel like you don't have any direction. There's delays. Don't be surprised if obstacles can come up. Okay, but what it means is you need to take some persistent action and some patience and a radical shift of how you're approaching your goals. This card often reversed is an indicator of a cycle of restriction or a period of lack or loss. Don't let it deter you. Use this as a time to go deeper. There may be a lesson to be learned, an entirely new direction to take. So maybe your focus is not on the right thing, because at the end is the garden and the gate, and this is a good card, and you're focusing kind of maybe on the negative things and what you don't have or what's not there. But that's kind of the problem, I think. So, Jenny, go ahead.
Okay. So I think I'm pulling a card for Susan.
And purpose.
Oh, could you imagine if we could sum up our purpose in
Yeah, right.
So just right off the bat, before I say another word, let me just tell you, you cannot sum up a life's purpose with 1, 2, or even 5 cards. Okay. It changes. But you know, like I said, the messages that you're getting tonight, these are the messages that you're meant to hear. So whatever you get is what you get. So Susan, life purpose, the priestess, the ace of discs, and the 4 of swords. That's wonderful. So the priestess, if your life or your life purpose is marked by this particular card, the priestess being the card of that which is unseen, hidden networks, hidden mechanics, magic, femininity, imagination, seduction, healing, fertility. This is all about feminine power. And the ace of discs is very much about making something real, kind of charging things with carbon-based matter, that it takes that which exists primarily in the imagination and it puts it in the ground and it makes it real. So if I were to, you know, put all of these together, and the 4 of swords being a card of peace and rest and kind of looking around and taking a deep breath, exhaling and saying, whew, that was hard. Now it's over. Now let's rest. So this to me looks like somebody who is a really good artist or writer, somebody that has a penchant for magic or otherwise ritual magic or spells, enchantments, healing arts, divination, that sort of thing. And the ace of discs, which is about making things real, this is very much about unveiling it and revealing it and bringing it to the public. And the 4 of swords, since this is the card of truth, it's known as the peace card. This really is about communicating in a way that's very palatable to a lot of people. So there's a possibility that your purpose or one of your purposes is to deliver through some kind of artistic media, an imaginative world, your kind of imaginative reality, and bringing it somehow through some medium, manifesting it into the real world in a way that everybody can enjoy, not just some people, but all people.
But Susan, you have a lot of fears there because another card said something about fears. So you got to really get through those fears. And maybe if you're depressed, try to, you know, not be so depressed.
The golden, I'm not an Aries. Am I an Aries? I don't know.
No, you're a Pisces rising, a sun Pisces, and a moon in Gemini.
Cancer. Moon in Cancer.
No, where are you coming up with that?
Really?
A moon in Gemini.
I thought I was triple water.
Ardra.
Oh God.
Remember?
I don't even know. How sick is that?
Somebody asked me earlier. Yeah, I'm Heidi. So Vedic way, I'm a Scorpio rising, Pisces moon, Leo sun. But I have Mars and Ketu in the first house, which kind of dominates my life. Okay. So let's see. Next person is 9976. So this is a male Leo, I think, T. Peters. Birthday is September 9th, but you're not a Virgo rising. Okay, but you do have 3 planets in Virgo, so you will feel a lot of Virgo energy. You're a Leo rising, a sun in Leo, and you have a lot of Virgo energy, like I said. So you have a debilitated Venus like me. So you're like a perfectionist when it comes to like your women to dress nice. You'll be attracted to somebody that's like put together well, picky, real picky. You are a good speaker, and you could be even a good boxer, fighter, can be a little controlling, but you do have like a lot of communication skills, and you're a leader for sure. Leo rising and sun in the first house. This is like the leader. Now it could be somebody that's good with their hands, somebody that works and writes, analyzes things. I mean, you have the leadership skills to work for the government too, or do something like that. But then you also have the behind the scenes, that engineer energy as well. But then you have a Pisces moon, like that's in sometimes outer space. Like you'll be interested in ancient scripts, ancient knowledge, but you're a fact checker. You like the facts, you like the truth. And, but you also have a very psychic ability, 12, 11, 10, 9, moon in the 8th in Pisces in Uttara Bhadra. So very, very psychic, mystical, tarot, anything like that. But then you have all that Virgo energy that kind of like says, let's analyze it. How can we practically use this? But you're going through a lot of clearings, endings, letting go. There's a lot of things that are going to be going on in your life where you're going to be getting rid of right now. Okay, so and hidden enemies can pop out of nowhere, but you could be traveling to a different country or something like that too. So it doesn't always mean it's bad, but you know, be cautious, watch out for hidden enemies until next March. And also anybody that is not supposed to be, and you might get a lot more expenses. Anybody that is not supposed to be in your life, they are going to be removed. Jenny?
So I'm going to need some, do you want to point out a transit or something that really kind of jumps out?
So for you, mine looks like, endings, 12th house. Anytime you ask that, we're always on the 12th house, I swear. No, Rahu in the 12th. Okay, so you have this in your chart, remember, Jenny? Also for you, this could have to do with a contract. I'm pulling a card of a contract. Possibly a broken heart, or like actually getting over that. Okay, but your creativity is blocked a little bit. Something is blocked. So I'm going to say 12th house and 6th house. It could have to do with work or health. It could have to do with 3rd house, business. I mean, it could have to do with a lot of things.
Okay. You know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to see what's jumping out.
That's a good idea. You're getting rid of something, whatever. Just know, okay, so Jenny, how about this? It's endings, things that are supposed to be ending in his life.
That's so super crazy. Okay, so like just as you were talking, and you tried to narrow down the transits, what really stuck out was health. You said health and work. And it's weird because I just intuitively felt like it was where health is being affected by work and vice versa, where work is being affected by health. So this is how your physicality, what your body is feeling like, how you're getting through the day, how you feel when you wake up in the morning, how you feel when you go to sleep at night, how you're eating. So I have the 3 of discs, which is actually the card of works. This is the card of teams, companies, businesses, people that you work with. It's very specific to people that you make money with or otherwise attempt to make money with. And then so what we have though is the 3 of discs, the world, and then the 3 of swords. So this does indicate a problem with work where there's a kind of estrangement. It could be that your performance is kind of wavering. Maybe you're not showing up as much. It could be health related. It could be out of your control. It could be in your control. You could having to be called away from work due to family issues or health issues. But I can tell you that since I have 2 3s in a 3-card spread, this is significant. Okay, so this does indicate things being in a very interesting place of transition. So,
a baby has to do with a baby, maybe a kid.
Well, I mean, that's entirely possible because the universe, aka the world, is about your tribe, your empire, the world that you kind of put a wall up. You know, you put a wall up around you and your family to protect you and your family. This is me and my family, and everything out there is everything out there. You know what I mean? So it is that kind of energy. But it doesn't appear that T. Peters is here today, or at least right now, to kind of interact with us, which we always prefer. So I think we should move on to the next person.
Yeah.
So this will be there for him later.
Yeah.
But you know, like we say, guys, this is only a taster. I love to get on the phone with people and really listen to their voices and you kind of just ride that connection and see what comes up. It's so hard to do this with the artificial intelligence all up in my face, like all up in my grill, because along with, you know, when we try to get in and kind of ride that connection that we're making, there's millions and trillions of other things that come in with it. There's nasty things riding the internet. You know what I mean? There's all kinds of creepy crawlies that like latch on and stuff. So this shit's draining. What can I say?
Okay, so this is next is Jacqueline. We have 2 left. Jacqueline and Taryn. I'm saying your name right, hopefully. So I just know who you are because I know your chart's like mine. Jacqueline. All right. So future. She wants future for, hold on. Where did it just go? Love and money. So for my future, love and money.
Okay.
Okay.
Those are two different things. So I'll do 2 for love, 2 for money, all 4 in the future position. You can go first.
All right. Sorry, Jacqueline. Things look a little on the rocks for you, I would have to say. So definitely, I think you're getting sucked up in something with the relationship. So I have the 9 of Cups reversed. I have the World reversed. Then I have the 8 of Cups walking away. And I have the Ace of Cups reversed. Lots of emotions and lots of reversal. So it looks like both things are kind of, for you, not in such good spots right now. Introspect. You need to become the hermit. There are fights, battles. Yeah. So I think you need to search in, do some alone time. Okay. And actually, because I'm pretty sure, I think you're a Capricorn rising, aren't you? If you're right, I think you're a Capricorn when I looked at your chart. And, sometimes, and with K2 in the first house, this is when you are changing relationships. Okay. You're changing things, jobs, work, career. Anytime you have that, it's like Rahu's going to make you obsessed with that 7th house thing, which is relationships, and take you off of your path. Okay. So, and you can try to hold on to things as long as you want, but if you're unhappy and nothing looks really good and there's fights, I mean, yeah, it's all, but so, you want this. So like, I think, now is the time to go internal and detach from things.
So, Heidi, did an archetype jump out to you as a specific man, like a central male figure, someone in particular?
It was all cups. So, and then there was the 5 of swords, but hold on.
Okay. So, did you?
Swords, 3 of swords and 5 of swords, Knight of swords. So definitely maybe some air signs.
Okay, so I have fire, and if you have air, that kind of matches, because I'm getting a lot of fire and air. Those are the primary.
Fire and air all the way.
Fire and air. So we're going to use that and assign this as a male archetype, either somebody, I believe this is somebody that you have been dealing with for a while. So if you're looking at the future of love, I have the Knight of Wands, which as a relationship partner, he can be very up and down. He can be really motivated for 1 month and then not motivated at all the next month. He kind of tends to come and go. The Knight of Wands, he's the kind of guy who's very impulsive. Sometimes he's totally on board, sometimes he's not. And that kind of up and down, that feeling of being unstable, that really, really wears on people. So the future with this person, I actually see that there comes a point where the Ace of Swords comes in and makes clear a lot of things that previously were unclear. So this could be about this person's purpose or their capacity to which they will be involved in your life. So this, and then followed up with the 6 of Swords. And I heard you say you had a lot of, I think you saw the 5 of Swords. So whenever we're dealing with the 5s and the 6s of Swords, we're talking about conflict that is then resolved. Okay, so I do see resolution here.
Yeah.
So I feel like there is resolution taking place. A lot of this has to do with clarity, and a lot of this has to do with communication and people being really, really honest about their intentions in the relationship. The Knight of Wands, while he's not the most dishonest of the archetypes, he's also very, very hard to pin down. And if he doesn't feel passionate or motivated about something, he can also be cruel. So this is just something to take into consideration. I don't know if this is someone that you're with right now. I believe this is somebody that you've known for a while. But if this is a future love, if this is somebody you're going to meet in the future, you're going to want to, right off the bat, have him be him or her. This could be a woman. That's, I don't know. You're going to want to be very clear about intentions, because it's like, no more. The 6 of Swords tells us we're not doing what we did in the past. We're moving forward. We're evolving. We're getting better with things. So in the sense that I don't see any stagnation. That's confirmed. It's not stagnation. It really is about clarity and moving forward.
It looks like the money matters are a little stressful though, but the storm's going away. Okay, that's for you. Now next for Taryn.
Wait, Jacqueline says they've come to a resolution. So is this okay? Because the Knight of Wands, all right, the Ace of Swords is the resolution, and the Six of Wands is the plan. So if there has been an understood sort of agreement come to, like a custody plan or a divorce plan or kind of any kind of proceedings like that, that's kind of what this looks like. Woman, okay, that's fine. Man, woman, it doesn't matter. Tarot reads it all the same. Men have feminine aspects and women have male aspects.
Taryn. I got the same cards. It's crazy. Okay. 9 of Cups reversed. So not happy, like not feeling emotionally fulfilled. You know, a little off. Maybe you're not happy with some person in your life. Like it could be the High Priestess, somebody that's like,
Ha! Heidi.
somebody that you know.
I love Heidi. Can we plan another trip?
Yes, I'm coming to you this time.
Oh my gosh.
So you're focusing on work. And look, here's the good thing. Ace of Wands coming in. That's positive. Look, I think a relationship's coming in for you, actually. Or a reunification. Yeah, yours looks good.
So Taryn, wait, what are we... Taryn, are you still here?
Just said pull us a card. Well-deserved reward. So whatever it is, it's good. It's because you're a nice super chatter. And then joy and stability. So I think you're going to actually be happy. You know, maybe now or you weren't very... If I'm correct, you're a Scorpio rising like me. Look, we already had like the worst few years ever. Shit's getting good, okay? I'm just being honest. Things are getting better for us. And, you know, just make sure money's coming in. Jupiter's coming into our first house. Woohoo. Okay? It's getting good. And you can feel it.
Karen said, Heidi slapped me.
Oh, it was a bug.
Heidi should do like kind of aggressive / violent ASMR.
What the hell is that?
Oh, you don't know what? It's auto sensory meridian response. And
Which means?
It's huge. It's blown up. There's so many channels with millions of subscribers, and it's women, mostly like very attractive women that have these really sensitive microphones, and they'll like tap and whisper and do hair play and massages. I'm subscribed.
Why would I want to do that?
It's just
oh, tell me.
No, it's just a joke, but it's funny because, like, you know, because you're super hot, and most of these women that do ASMR are hot, and so it would just be really funny.
That sounds like hell for me.
Yeah, no, I don't know how they do it. Like, there's some that's like 8 hours long where somebody whispers into a microphone, like.
I'm not like that. All you'll hear is all your flaws.
Right, exactly. There are people that are into that. That's the thing. There are men that
I can make you feel like shit if you'd like.
Yeah, there are men that will pay to be talked down to by.
I mean, that's ridiculous. If anybody wants that, I can be more than happy to do that. Okay.
Careful what you wish for, Heidi.
Look, and the 6 of Wands. So, like, good victories. This is good. Good stuff for you. Good stuff.
All right, Taryn. Taryn, I don't know what you want me to look at, brother. I don't know what you want me to do.
Okay, somebody wants to know if John McCain did die. Show me a yes. Did John McCain actually die? Yeah.
Did he die Did he die this past week?
Did John McCain die this past week?
He's been dead. I think he's been dead.
Did John McCain die before they actually said he died?
Well,
No.
half. Maybe one of his Horcruxes died, and so he was only like half life. He was just like a shell, like half a soul in a body. Haha.
Is Ethereum Classic, was that a good buy? Good.
All right, Taryn. I have the Three of Cups, the Magician, and the Prince of Wands. So I like this. This is like a party spread for real. The Magician is all about your skill, what you're good at. It could be your job, but not necessarily. This is just something that you do really well. It could be a hobby, a passion, something you do on the side where you use your God-given talent or your skill. The Three of Cups, also, this is about like entertainment, entertaining people. The Prince of Wands, he's a very flamboyant, very like outspoken, driven, what's the word when you're outgoing? Extroverted. So this looks like parties. This looks like flaunting your stuff. I don't know, like I want to say like if you make music or you make art, this is really about like sharing your music, sharing your art, doing it for people, like makes everybody feel really good. It's very positive. There's nothing bad here.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, we're done.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Go ahead. Yeah. So John McCain is totally a traitor, and if he really is dead, I don't care how he died or well, actually that's not true. I kind of do, because if he was, there's theories floating around that he was executed, that he was tried by a military tribunal and was executed as a result of his crimes against this country and crimes against humanity. That would be nice. Wouldn't it?
Jack, you don't have to stay, Jenny. You can go. I'm pulling like one oracle card for some of these.
Are you?
Miscellaneous ones, so you can go.
Guys, I've done my due diligence. Thank you, Heidi. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks.
Just so you guys know, you can find me on jennymoonstone.com. That's how you can book a reading for me. Someone asked earlier if I was booked out. I'm actually not. This week is a little crazy, but I'm open next week. I'm pretty open. I'm very flexible. So just reach out to me and we can coordinate a time. Also, you guys, subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's Jenny Moonstone. I talk a lot about the exposure of the deep state, all different kinds of topics over there. So everybody, thank you for tuning in. Heidi, thank you so much for having me.
Thanks, Jenny.
Time.
Sounds good. See ya. Okay, so the last few super chatters. Okay, who was that one I was looking at? Okay, this was Jack Matthews. Blossoming abundance. So that's great. Positive things are coming. It's the 3. It's good stuff. It's coming soon. Next is the Lion. All right, I already did that one. Next was Zach Hawk. Zach, use your creativity. Okay. Maybe it's a new project, creative project. Use that. Work on that. It's the sun. You need to use your creative energy and let yourself shine. Then, all right, the Lion of the Morning. I'm not doing your birthday because you didn't give it to me, so I'll just pull a card. Value, door to value, money. All these people. If you guys are all cryptos, like I said, the cryptos are increasing very soon. Okay, big shifts. Door to value. Money's coming up. Okay, money is going to be increasing for you. And the door to personal happiness and healing, even better. Okay, so maybe you're healing through some things. So it's all positive stuff. Shermanator, Osborne, I don't know what you want to know, but some advice that you need to know is blocks in the flow of your heart center energy, old sense of abandonment or grief of a broken heart, lingering of a past long past event, whether it's recent or not. This blocked energy stops you from caring for yourself and attracting love from others, and it can create undercurrent of unhappiness and permeates your life. It's time to heal the old stuck stuff and move on. Don't bypass the pain and pretend it doesn't exist. Instead, ventilate it into your journal and release it with intention. Be clear, happy, self-loving, and you'll get a lot more clarity. Coniferous forests. Also, the lion, no, Shermanator, this maybe do some teaching or take some advice or do some teaching. Teaching about maybe, I don't know, I'm just going to ramble. Okay, so for the forest guy. Okay, well, this is so weird. I shuffled them and yours is upright. So you now have greater readiness to receive love from others as well from yourself. It could indicate a much needed healing from previous broken heart is taking place. The tender vibrations of Raphael encourage yourself with compassionate self-talk and know what you do, know that what you do, the light from your heart center will shine with an irresistible beauty in the universe, will send people and situations that cause your sense of love and support to grow and grow. Good. So you're healing. You are. Coniferous forests. Okay. And then that's it. All right, guys. Lizard. Okay. No more super chats. This is the last one, please. Okay. No more, but I'll do this last one. I have to go. Okay. So lizard, wizard. Lizard, what do you want to know? Anything in particular? You got to answer soon. Okay. All I'm going to say to you right now, you're stuck, blocked creativity. Okay. And I think it has to do with somebody else that's influencing your life. It focused on money. You might be like, there's maybe a water sign. Either you're a male water sign that if you're a wizard, your wizard magic is out of whack. Okay. If that's you and you're the wizard. All right. But if you're it looks like whoever this is, they're either you are, if you're a male, it's you, and you're a little, trying to control your money, holding on to things, and, turbulent marriage. It could be something that's just a little out of sorts. Could be, and if you're a female, then it could be the male. There's a bad male in your life that's not making you happy. Okay, so on the positive, the card of the dreams coming true. That's good. And then I'm going to... Okay. Wow, this is weird. Everybody's getting this. Okay, for you, this is your advice. Powerful energy to your throat chakra, throat center. Acknowledge your power to communicate and readiness to do so. This angel opens up truthful expression to both yourself and others. You may have had trouble. Okay, so you're a male. So maybe your energy is a little out of whack. Okay, so you're just not in the right mindset. But here's the deal. Creative projects, speaking your truth, okay, this is what it's telling you to do. You may have had trouble in the past expressing emotions. You know what? And that makes sense with the King of Cups reverse. It's somebody that can't really express their emotions, like a water sign too. So it can also be Your soul longs to take this leap, so you need to start communicating. Be aware that true communication includes how you speak to yourself, so never deny your profound integral value. Speak up for yourself, write it in a journal, let your words flow. Now is the time to express yourself freely and fully. The universe always honors your feelings and choose to do so. This card could also indicate a communication project is coming, or heightened time with spirit telepathy with others. So in this card too, yours is all about like magician energy, and so psychic energy. Just try to, it might get a little blocked, but work on it. Dreams coming true, all positive stuff. Nothing too like serious sticks out that it's too bad. Okay. All right, guys, I'm done. Thanks for watching and have a good weekend. Just figure out how to get out of here.